So you're saying that this, it's everybody gets to benefit from this, even if they're not a member or in alignment with the teaching.
Yep.
They still benefit by other people being in alignment, because you're saying the law of averages. If we're increasing what we're doing, then the law of averages goes up.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. And I think you're seeing it. I mean, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of change going on right now. I mean, we live in exciting times, and there's a lot of things happening. There are things happening with medical research. I think with these money markets and banks and things going through, and the auto industry and all this stuff, and around energy and the things. But you know what? We are an amazingly creative species. And there's a collective genius that's alive, and we see it in bits and pieces with individuals. I mean, there have been people who have come down through the ages. A guy like Da Vinci. They tap into that essence of genius and just look at things in a different way. But I think we're giving birth to that in a way. I think what we're being called to do is help restructure this planet in a way that provides sustainability and optimism and health and vibrancy. But people get trapped into these old paradigms of the way it's got to be, and we got to sustain this thing. And what if there's a whole way to do commerce, and a whole way to do health, and a whole way to do things that everyone benefits from? I mean, this idea that we got to work 40 hours a week. I mean, there's a book out by Timothy Ferriss called The 4-Hour Work Week. Hey, I'm for that. If we can get it all done in 4 hours, why not?
I'm down with that too.
What are we going to do? But I mean, it's really about blowing those things out of the water and pushing the envelope. And I think that that's done at that level of consciousness. So when I talk about meditation, I'm not talking about let's all be peaceful and we'll all be throwing flowers in the air and wearing robes and skipping through the field. I'm talking about having enough presence and peace in our life so we can tap into that intelligence and take it out in the world and in our own lives and make a difference that benefits everyone, because that's where that genius lives. That's where those ideas come from. A great musician, Roy Orbison, used to say that he never wrote a song himself. It always came through him. And I think that's true of many artists. So those kind of things. So when I talk about, and you've mentioned several times, the practicality of this, it really is about tapping into that essence of life, living in the essence. And the paradox is too, because a lot of this, and we're talking about spiritual practice, talking about meditation, we're talking about affirmative prayer, we're talking about one of the things we promote with people is service. Going out in the world, helping somebody, doing something. Our whole community is based on service. We call it seva, which is an Eastern term for selfless service to God. And that's service at its highest form. But service celebration is another one and education. How we think. So we have a lot of classes within our community that help open people to new ways of thinking. But all of those things, the only purpose to do that is to free that flow of energy and to allow people to free the dynamic creativity that is inherent in everyone. And those tools so that everyone can live their best life. And if that's happening, you're living your best life, man, it's benefiting me. Then I want to hang out with you because you're an inspiration to me, and I can share that back with you. And that's just good for everybody. That's just healthy.